check. They step on the rock, don't man. I'm a K-back, 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they scamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the jungle, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I go to hotels when I step out, yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs with a yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no madman. I just go crazy, man. Ball hard, can't face, man. Choppers, rip wasteland. This what happen when you give it a taste like, then you give it a...
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Now they try the right side here. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Kaiser. It's complete to Chris Conley. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Kaiser on 1st down. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And they'll try the ground game here with a running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Flex round! Here we go!
They go play action here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here in this first series. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 4th down, off goes Kaiser. On comes the Browns kicker, Zane Gonzalez, for the field goal attempt. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Tiger!
Off of play action, it's Watson. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Richmond!
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
To throw on second is Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Nelson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Richmond.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And now running right through it. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90. Flex round. Flex round. Hut.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Hut.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Ohio. Hut.
Kaiser, this looks like a free play. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Come on, let's go. White 90.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nigel Bradham in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Flex round. Here we go. White 90. White 90. Hut. Hut.
To throw, Kaiser. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go. White 90. White 90. Ohio.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Coleman has it here right side. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Come back.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Richmond. Tiger.
Watson. Caught by Nelson left side. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Reset. Black got it out, feel it.
On 1st down, Watson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Watson looks to throw again. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
throwing the interception. Kaiser. This one complete to Coleman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Kaiser now on second down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. He'll get it up the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's another second and goal, this time from half the distance closer. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Reset.
On second down, here's Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And they'll run it here. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes our score 17-0. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 23 yards on the play.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Ready?
2 minutes to go here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this.
Come back, come back.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Airing one out for Crowder. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Flush to his right. And Nelson's got it here right side. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And this is caught at the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. J.J. Nelson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Parkey with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
former fourth-round pick. It's Kevin Balaj. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now a second down throw for Kaiser. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Ohio!
On 1st and 10, Kaiser buying time to his left. The 20. The tight end Kelce has it over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Flex round! Flex round!
From the red zone now, Kaiser into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. After the interception, here's Watson. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come back! Richmond!
Watson on first down. Airing one out for Crowder. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. That'll bring up second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Come back!
The final shot before the break. Watson escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Terrence Mitchell. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. Spins by. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now Watson. And my goodness, another interception. It's the sackmaster, Justin Houston, who comes up with it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Completes it right side to Dodson. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Flex round! Flex round!
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Fielded about a yard deep. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Kamara. And some room to work. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Watson, off play action. That is caught at the 7. 23 yards on the play. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Parkey adds the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Kaiser. Completes it to Coleman. And there is a flag, so a big second down pickup, but will it hold? Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Kaiser. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Daniil Hunter in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They go play action. Kaiser. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Robert Kimdichie. He's the one to get in this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. And he's able to get it out of there. And this is a pretty good kick. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Watson. And his throw is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, blue 80, blue 80, two jet.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. He's going deep for Brown. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Kaiser on 1st down. He's got the hook up with Conley. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Kaiser. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On play action, Kaiser. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Kaiser going to try the sneak. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Kaiser to throw it this time. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Kaiser now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
The Niners on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Play fake, Kaiser. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Tack McKinley in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that really successfully in this game.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Eluding, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cameron Jordan in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football. And pressure gets to him again. Randy Gregory in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Come back. Hey, black 22. Black 22.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Well, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
4 down.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Ohio!
On 3rd down, Scott. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
Do you think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can...
And now a fumble. The ball's out. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They run it again with Kamara. Oh, the spin. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
A give. This is Kamara. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for San Francisco, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll have another home date next week as the LA Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Can you hear me?